You're a woman over 40 trying to lose weight, but you're also spending way too much money on takeout in restaurants. This video is for you. I'm going to give you 3 simple weight loss habits that can help you eat better, save money, and feel better without spending your life meal prepping. See, I've been coaching women for 20 years and have worked with more than 10,000 women. And I've seen firsthand how much easier weight loss becomes when you have a simple system. See, I had a client recently. We'll call her Nicole. Okay, so Nicole was spending over $700 a month more than she needed to on food. And no, it wasn't because she was buying expensive organic food from specialty places. She was really spending it more on convenience. See, she was eating out, ordering takeout, grabbing food because she was tired and didn't know what she was going to eat. And also, she did have some Uber Eats on there as well. And that convenience number adds up. And when we started working together, one of the first things I had her do was something actually really simple. She had to start going to the grocery store. See, we created a plan for her that for what she was going to eat during the week, basically. And something interesting happened. She didn't just start saving money, she started feeling better. She was less bloated. She wasn't as tired after meals. And mentally, she felt good because sometimes I would ask her on our calls, or maybe I'll just text her, "What are you having for lunch today?" "Oh, I'm having this salad that I made." "Oh, what are you having for dinner?" "Oh, yeah, the salmon is in there, and we're going to have stir fry," right? So she knew what she was going to eat, and that was a mental stress that I don't think most of us, or even her, of course, um, knew that would help that much for her mental state. And that's what I will talk about today. I'm going to talk about and think um, we're making weight loss and healthy eating so much more complicated than it needs to be. Okay. So before I get really deep into this, which is great, if you're new here, welcome. If you've been rocking with me for a little bit, welcome back. It's your girl, Chelsea C., your fitness and nutrition coach, always doing the most so you don't have to. Like I said before, I've been in the fitness and wellness industry for 20 years, and I've worked with more than 10,000 women, helping them lose weight, feel great, confidence, get back on track, whatever their goals were, health and fitness goals. I'm your girl, okay? So after all this time, I've learned that women who are successful aren't necessarily the women who have the most discipline. So you don't have a lot of discipline, we still got you. I got you, okay? The women that are successful have systems that they follow that make it easy to make healthy choices. So today I'm going to give you 3 simple things you can start doing that can help you with your weight, your energy, and potentially your food budget. See, a lot of my clients, women, professional, high power women, working 40 plus hours a week. Some are managing a household. Most are managing a household, could be kids, could be dealing with partners or aging parents at this time, traveling, dealing with deadlines, and still trying to like live their best life, right? So by the time on a regular Monday, Tuesday that you're working, by the time they get home, they don't want another job, right? And so that's where the problem starts. So you don't know what you're eating, you're hungry, everyone in the household is hungry, you're tired, and you don't want to cook. So convenience wins. It totally makes sense, right? I'm tired. I don't want to cook. We can go get some food or can come to our house and now everybody ate. But then this is what happens. And I talk about this a lot in a lot of my videos. If you have not checked them out, go check them out. Something there for you, I'm sure. It's a cycle, right? You don't have a plan. You're hungry. Everybody's hungry. You're tired. You do takeout. It's expensive. Then you feel bloated or sluggish or even just like, dang, this was not what I need to be eating to help me, get to my fitness and health goals. And then you get frustrated and then you repeat it. And then we blame ourselves and say, I have no discipline. See, maybe you just need a better system. So I'm going to help you out today. Okay. So the first habit, you're going to stop winging your meals. See, if you don't know where you're eating at 6 p.m., you're probably going to make a decision based on how you feel at 6 p.m., right? And after work, whether that's 4 or 5, whatever time, you're tired, hungry, mentally drained, ready to sit down. You have a hard day. You're ready to chill, put your feet up, right? So, what's easiest in this culture in America right now? Convenience is king, right? And I always say convenience is killing us, but we'll talk about that on another video. Okay. So, convenience. So, then you say, um, well, I'm going to say that's not a discipline problem. That's a planning problem, right? So um, I have a 3-3-3 method, something very easy that I just kind of get my clients started on, and then we go into more deeper things. So this is just something to get you going, but it won't sustain you. But if you're not doing anything, this is going to help you. It's called the 3-3-3 method. Okay, you don't need 30 recipes. I actually want you to simplify. So you're going to do 3 proteins, 3 vegetables, 3 healthy carbs. Okay. So protein could be chicken, turkey, salmon, eggs. You're not doing a lot of meat. You can do beans, lentils, chickpeas, some tofu. I would stay away from like Beyond Meat and the fake meats and stuff. They're processed. I don't condone them, but hey, if you want to grab them, go ahead. Vegetables be like broccoli, spinach, pepper, salad. Carbs are like potatoes, rice, quinoa. Oops. Okay. I will. I do have a meal planning thing. I'm gonna leave it in the description down here. Okay. So I'm not gonna go too into it right now. You mix them up. You go to the grocery store, and then you have a couple meals for the day. Okay. Um, another quick story. Um, one of my clients. Well, it's the same story. So I'm just go a little more into it. So what was happening with Nicole was she and her partner, they lived together. They had just moved. So she has a very high stressful job. She works in a law firm. And 8 hours work, come home. She doesn't really cook. Her partner doesn't really cook, at least on the weekends. I think he does more of the cooking, but not on the weekday. So they would eat out, right? So they definitely were spending money. I had her take out a piece of paper and I said, "Okay, are you eating out every day during the week?" Yes. She was like, "Most of the times dinner and then breakfast." I mean, breakfast, she wouldn't really eat breakfast, but lunch would either be leftover dinner or she would go and buy lunch. So it's two of them, right? So you figure she figured $50 for dinner, which could probably be more or less. Um, Depends, but we just said 50. And said, okay, so we said 50 times 5 is 250. But we didn't include lunch, right? So let's include lunch. Let's say $40 30 times a week. So that's 120, right? I'm trying to make sure my math is right. 250 plus 120 is 370 or something. I'm going to just say that's probably wrong. Put in the comments, my math people, okay? 370. I don't feel like whipping out the calculator. We'll just say 370 for the week. And that's on the low side. I believe we kind of had that. So if you multiply that by 4, 3 times 4 is 1200. So roughly probably 1250. And that was just on eating 5 meals, 5 days, and 3 lunches. Okay. 1250 we did not put in. They definitely ate out on the weekend, probably more lunch and breakfast, right? So we kind of just did some math and was like, okay, we know we got to eat, right? But then we compared how much she's been spending on groceries a week, And I think her grocery was about 250. And remember we said 320, but that was kind of the low side. She's probably spending 400 at least, probably five eating out. And so her grocery bill was 250, right? So we at least cut 250 per week, right? 250 times four. I know, might be losing you. That's about $1,000. So I think I said 700, but really we saved her a good amount of money, right? So um, I just want to throw that at you while we're thinking about it. Maybe you can pause the video and kind of write out how many times you're going out to eat, takeout, Uber Eats. Had another client the before we started, like I need to stop Uber Eats. We stopped and we did her Uber Eats account for the last 4 months. It was insane. She was looking like, oh my goodness. She spent at least close to $1,000 a month on Uber Eats. And not saying she wasn't going to the grocery store and getting some things, but it was mostly Uber Eats. So take your time, and that goes right into habit number 2. Stop paying for convenience every day. Okay? So I just broke down a bunch of stuff, so I kind of went ahead of myself, right? So the convenience cost is really going to cost you, right? Um, so I'm not telling you never to eat out, never to eat at a restaurant, and we're on number 2 now, which is convenience. Stop paying for convenience every day. Right? You can pay for convenience twice a week. Maybe you know that Friday end of the week, or maybe your week is Thursday. Thursday, I'm gonna have my Uber Eats. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna pay for my convenience on Thursday and maybe Sunday, right? 2 days, but not every day. And like I said, I'm not saying don't ever eat out or at a restaurant. I eat out, I travel, I enjoy food. The problem isn't the eating out. The problem is when convenience becomes your default. So you don't need to stop enjoying restaurants. You need to stop needing restaurants to feed you every day. And some of my clients, right now, we're talking about just money wise, right? But some people are like, well, I'm not doing fast food, doing restaurants. So you're still paying money, right? And we're talking about trying to budget. But if you're like, hey, I got the money, I've allotted this amount, and this is what I do. Okay, cool. But just because you're not eating at Wendy's, Arby's, McDonald's, Jack in the Crack, whatever you want to call it, just because you're not doing that, those restaurants, and I tell my clients this all the time, you know why the food tastes good? They're saturating it with butter, with sugar, and salt. And the sad thing now, like, okay, so what? I have a little butter. Now it's not even real sugar, it's high fructose sugar. And not using butter, they're using seed oils. So now it's stuff that your body just cannot handle and that you probably can see and feel. You may start feeling more bloated, like, oh, I've been eating at this restaurant for whatever, like my feet are swollen, I have more of a bloated belly, or I'm just feeling sluggish, right? Because the type of food that's in restaurant and fast food, especially today, is not good. Okay. So even if you're doing restaurant food and you want to do that, try to plan ahead and go to the store and get some good fruits, vegetables. Today I went actually to a farmer's market and got some, what did I get? Green beans, potatoes, bell peppers. I feel like one other thing, but I can't remember. Anyway, I digress. On to habit 3. You got to have a plan when you don't feel like cooking. Okay. So let's be honest. Some nights you're going to come home and think, Chelsea, I don't care what you said. I don't feel like cooking. And that might be 5 days out of the week. And that's why you need emergency meals. Maybe your emergency meals are just your meals all the time. Okay. So healthy eating cannot depend on motivation. Right. So, you can do, my clients are doing a lot of bag salads, but then some things were happening with the bag salad. So we had to kind of shift to maybe her making her own. But like, they have rotisserie chickens already cooked. Try to go to the fresh places that cook them fresh, and don't put them in the plastic bag. Video for another time. Okay, so you can get a big thing of rotisserie chicken, maybe bag salad, or maybe you have some vegetables you can just throw in and cut it up. Kids are eating, you're eating, partner's eating, everybody's happy, right? For like the morning, yogurt, berries, nuts, maybe some eggs, right? Evening, salmon. I like to already have stuff already pre kind of made, right? So sometimes they have stir fries already made, like Costco and stuff, and you just throw it in the pan, and I'll put some oil at the bottom, butter, then throw your protein. So you already have the vegetables, and then you throw the protein on top. Okay, soup, batch cook, right? Like your body is worth it. And if you take that time, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe cook a little something and go to the grocery store or whatever day you're doing it, during the week, you're going to just be like, this is the life. I can just open up. I'm eating things that are quick and healthy. I'm feeling good. Mentally, I'm feeling better. Okay. So you don't need gourmet meals. You just need meals that are easier than ordering takeout. Okay. That's the standard. Okay. So you don't want to, I'm not a big cook and chef. Like I'll buy some already cooked fish, or I love ground turkey, and then I'll do some stir fry, right? Or I'll cut up a bunch of vegetables. Like I said, I went to the farmer's market, so tomorrow, oh, I got carrots, some organic carrots. So I'll do like carrots, I'll cut up carrots, I'll cut up my potatoes, and do some green beans, throw them in the oven. 20 minutes later, gourmet meal right there. And then whatever protein I want, if I'm doing protein that day, I'll throw that in there. But the thing that the thing is, it doesn't have to be gourmet. You can get something frozen, buy a couple of frozen things, some frozen vegetables, some frozen dinners. They're okay. You don't want to be doing frozen dinners all the time, just the sodium is high. But that sodium is probably not as high as that Chick-fil-A um, burger or chicken, whatever sandwich, right? So even the frozen stuff that you bring home is probably going to be better than being out. Okay. So get you some frozen vegetables. Frozen is great. People look bad down on frozen. Doesn't have to be fresh. I don't want you going farmer's market buying all the stuff and then goes bad. Okay. And then the third thing, so we went over three things, right? We'll make sure we're on the right topic. So we talked about stop winging your meals. So we need to plan ahead. I'm going to have that 3-3-3 meal plan for you. Okay. How to do that? Stop paying for convenience every day. Okay. Convenience is not helping you. Okay. It's actually hurting us in the long run. And then three, have an I don't feel like cooking plan. Okay. And then the fourth one, it's not a habit, it's just a benefit, and probably one of the biggest benefits that we don't think about when I first say, okay, start planning, it's going to help your mental health. Kind of like, huh? See, the thing I really want you to understand is that this isn't just about saving money. See, my client, Nicole, she had mental relief throughout the week. Before, she was like, what am I going to eat? Should I order? Should I cook? What should I buy? Right? Did I eat too much? After the system, she knew, right? It's called decision fatigue. You work all day. You don't want to think of one more thing when you get home, right? That's why you're either relying on your partner or your kids when they get older, like make something, or I don't know, pick up something from so and so. You're driving, you just pick up a bunch of fast food, right? Because you already have decision fatigue. But if you already know that that might happen, let's cut that out by creating a system. And see, once we did the system for Nicole, she knew what she was going to eat. She didn't have to make any more food decisions. She wrote it down. She had it in the refrigerator, in the cupboard. One time I was talking to her, oh yeah, I got to pull out that chicken. My mom used to freeze chicken and turkey. Pull out the chicken and the frozen turkey for 3 hours, right before I get home. Whatever it is. Okay. When you have a plan, you don't have to negotiate with yourself when you're tired. because we know who's going to win, right? You're tired and hungry, human instinct is going to win. Okay. The goal isn't to make healthy eating exciting every single day. The goal is to make it easy enough that you actually do it. And we make sure in the program that you're eating foods that you like, right? Not going to be eating liver and roast. And nothing's wrong with liver. Most people don't like that, right? So inside the coaching program, we make sure you're eating foods not only healthy but are good. I think sometimes we think healthy and good aren't together. Actually, healthy foods actually taste the best. The fresh fruits, the real food, right? Not the fake food. Real food that comes from the ground, fruits, vegetables, beans. All right, so a lot of women think weight loss means adding. I talked about how we kind of complicate things sometimes. We think more workouts, more supplements, more restrictions, more meal plans, more rules. Sometimes the answer is actually to simplify. See, my goal is not to make your life harder. Actually, I come in and my goal is to make your life easier, to take some things off of your plate mentally, right? Because we have information overload, we don't do anything, or we start doing the thing, but we don't stay with it long enough, right? So the goal is to make your life easier, is to make healthy choices easier to repeat as well. So you don't need to be perfect on Sunday when you have 3 hours to meal prep. I mean, it's nice to have some time and take that time to meal prep. I want you to know what you're going to do on Tuesday at 6:30 when you're exhausted. Right? You know what your week looks like. I have my clients open up their calendar. What does it look like? Wednesday, I have a meeting. Oh, this week is crazy. Might be out of town, whatever. Okay, so let's plan for those. Like, make sure you have your meals. Oh, snacks, right? I just talked to my client. She had some almonds and raisins. She's like, oh, this saved my life, right? Because, but she had to have them at work. She planned ahead. Oh, this is going to be a busy day. Maybe I don't have time to eat a full meal, or it's going to be a couple hours. Let me bring some fruits, some vegetables, some good snacks. So that's where your plan has to work, right? The plan works best when you're tired. Tuesday at 6:30. Hold up. I don't know where my water is. Excuse me. We're wrapping it up. That means I need to wrap it up. My voice is like we're done. All right, so let's give you 3 things to do. One, I want you to choose your 3 proteins. Like I said, I'm gonna drop all the PDF in the description. So grab it, okay? It's 3 proteins, 3 vegetables, 3 carbs. Then go to the grocery store with that list. Buy enough food to create some simple combinations. And if you're feeling froggy, like I said, this is real simple. Be like, oh, I like this and this, then add those things, right? I'm just keeping it simple. Stop trying to make every meal different. Some meals can be the same, right? I eat usually the same meal once, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 days, 2 days in a row, then I'll switch it up. Okay. And go grocery shopping before you're starving, right? Don't go hungry. And then just make sure that you go grocery shopping. You're going to save a lot of money. It's going to save a lot of time mentally, physically, emotionally. So remember, Nicole didn't need another complicated diet. She needed to stop winging it. Once she had food in the house and knew what she was going to eat, she wasn't making every food decision at 7 p.m. when she was exhausted. She saved more. We did the math, right? We did the Chelsea C math. You can go back and recalculate and give me the real numbers. I probably lowballed it, but she saved more than 700 a month, and she felt better. You know, now your number may be completely different. Maybe you're spending an extra $100. Maybe it's 300. Maybe it's 700. The point isn't the exact number. The point is that a little planning can save you money, reduce your food stress, and make weight loss easy. And just to wrap up, Nicole, she's doing great. We're still working together, and she just like every time we're on calls, like I don't like if she misses a week of grocery shopping and the week is crazy or whatever. She's like, I have to go grocery shopping. She's like, when I shop, I feel better. I'm saving money, and it just is a game changer. And so now our process is just getting her to do it consistently, right? So we can do something once or twice, but it's just that consistency. So that's what we're working on now. But she's doing great. She's feeling great. She's dropped several inches and just mentally, we worked on her sleep. We worked on recovery, movement. It's a whole thing, right? We're a whole person. So we can't just look at food and not look at stress and all that stuff. But she's doing great, saving her money. And, we're doing that. That's what we do. That's what I do. Okay. So if you're a professional woman over 40 trying to lose weight without making your life more complicated, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share this with other women that may also benefit from this, because I'm trying to do some things here. We got to move and shake. 40 and up. We just getting started, baby. If you watched this long, thank you so much. Hope you got something out of it. Leave a comment if you like. Um, like I said, if there's other women that you know, please do so. Please let them know. And then if you want help getting started with the simple meal plans, I'll leave my 333 meal plan guide in the description. All right? I got you. All right. Until the next time, it's your girl Chelsea C. I'll see you on the next video.